tuned into. Facts, transparency, results, process, authenticity, culturally competent, wise foresight, challenging, thought-provoking, clarity, unpacking, relatable, aware, present, proven solutions.
Controversial, witty, unbiased, intentional, black, sexy, sassy, fresh. Whatever we question, we will put to rest. Whatever you question, we will try our best. Before you get solutions, you gotta have the proof. We just here to talk about the facts and the truth. Relationships, sports, entertainment, or the news. Enzo and Tiana, baby, go through and talk it through. Yo, what's good?
Yo,
Proof and Solutions.
it's that time again.
Back at it again.
Listen, man. Today is another great topic.
Brand new topic.
Brand new hot topic.
What we got for y'all today?
Today's topic is called breadwinning.
Woo! Bread. We talking about paper. Skrilla. That squalor. The green. The guapo. The cheddar. The cheese.
Okay.
The whatever you call it.
But it's a hot topic. I just feel like I wanted to talk on this. We should talk on this. Like,
yeah, I love talking about money.
So the discussion that's going around these days is men being the providers, being the breadwinners, and women going through this thing where they feel like there's not enough men who are playing the lead role as they're supposed to play. Not even play, but be the lead. And they feel like it's not enough men out here doing that, or it's not any men at all. So, breadwinning. Another aspect of that is it's almost as if men supposed to just get a money.
That's true. That's right. That's factual.
So let me rephrase it then, since you want to jump right into it. For some reason, there's a certain type of woman who just thinks that men are supposed to just provide luxury lifestyles, basically, beyond provision. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, baby, what do you think provision means?
Provision is the foundation of providing. From my understanding, provision coming from a man for me would be providing stability, security, being a leader, a head of the household.
Right.
So providing for not only me, but our children.
Right.
Being able to lead a household. For me, that is provision. Being able to facilitate finances, knowing ways to create avenues to get finances, and knowing how to manage it. For me, that's provision.
Now, do you think a man is supposed to provide everything, like, as the fundamental foundation of being the head of household? Like everything.
Everything like materialistic. Everything like clothes, food, shelter.
Facts.
All of that.
Facts.
At its root, basic necessities, yes. Basic necessities, food, clothes, shelter. Yes. Now, at its basic fundamental foundation, those are just those things. That's not to say that those things have to have brands. That's not to say that those things have to be luxurious, So I do think that provision in its foundation is just that. It's just providing and creating provision. Outside of that, it's more like financing a fantasy at that, after that. And I'm not saying it's wrong to want
luxury, a luxurious lifestyle, or whatever you even identify luxury as. For me, I don't even identify luxury in the way that most people probably identify luxury, because it doesn't mean much to me. Material things never really have.
How do you identify what what is luxury to you?
I don't really think luxury exists, in a sense, because I feel like they're just everything's a brand, right? It's just a matter if you mess with a certain brand because of you're a certain type of person. But luxury, in a sense, is for me stemmed in unfairness and colorism, racism, sexism. For me, that's luxurious, because what's luxurious to us here in America is not necessarily luxurious to somewhere else in a different country, and vice versa. So there's a different way to see luxury, and I think when we do view luxury, we want things that oftentimes are out of our means and out of our grasp as everyday people, because of what's promoted to us on TV and videos and movies and shows and things like that. Oftentimes television and movies and shows are to escape reality, but at the same time they're creating ideals that we're supposed to go after as your everyday people, when oftentimes the everyday person and family doesn't make enough money to go after these luxurious ideals that are at the end of the day just materialistic items.
Speaking of family, everyday families and budgeting, et cetera, or coming out the struggle, that's another topic within this topic I wanted to speak on. How is it possible that we all, as male and female, girl, boy, have the same path from, toddler to teenager, education wise? We all have the same path. So how is it possible that in these times where I'm in the same classroom with women, we have the same GPA goals to graduate? We have the same opportunities to go to college, and through that, we then graduate from college and start our life however we decide to go, and whatever path we decide to go, we start our life. How does that tie into gender roles and relationships? How do you think that ties together? How can that work if we all are able to contract and become successful, rich, and all of these things? What do you think that is?
That's a good point. I think a shift in the mindset of how we perceive relationships for women, and since you bring up education as being afforded the same opportunities, I agree with that. And oftentimes you see that education is disproportionate between men and women, meaning that more women are pursuing education rather than men, especially in the Black community. So with that being said, not only are women more likely to have a degree or to have an education than men, they're also expecting men to provide at their level once they're I would say higher than their level once they're even educated.
Great point.
So for me, when I'm thinking about how gender plays into that, I would say that we are afforded the same opportunities when it comes to education. We do start off, we all have to go to school, but we don't all have to choose higher education. That's a choice. You know what I mean? Because after high school, you can either choose to, do whatever you want. You can be an entrepreneur. You can say, I want to be a social media influencer today. You can be a sports star. You don't necessarily have to pursue higher education to be successful. And that's been proven time and time over. So I don't think that we can even assign gender in education at this point, because we have men and women in even the same professions, even though disproportionate in some professions, it's still not unheard of. Like,
it's not like it's not exclusion.
Exactly, like women engineers now,
Yeah.
women being in STEM in general.
Right.
So I think that even with that being said, and you have women who are fighting for equal rights and to be seen as equals, being the lesser being, creation wise, it does create some sort of, I would say, a misunderstanding between what women should expect from men
Mm.
financially.
Mm. Yeah, I would say the same thing. I'm like, I'm just confused. Like a lot of men, when we talk about this conversation, a lot of men and women speak on the conversation as if the man in this topic is a lazy bum or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on now. We're talking about two people who are able to go out and make money as they see fit.
Right. Right. But yet,
You know.
even though
Mm-hmm.
we have to stand on, our righteous example of men being providers. And I just think that with times having changed,
Mm-hmm.
that with society, we're trying to apply an ancient ideal to an advanced society.
Right.
Because for that to still be the case where women are like, no, the man has to provide 100%, and you're making more than him, and he still has to pay all the bills and provide for you and the children, and what do you do with your money then?
Mm.
Your money is just for you. So God would have it fit that men provide even though women have equal opportunity to get finances. No, not at all. I wouldn't think that in any sense that marriage was designed or even partnership was designed in a way that men provided everything without women's help.
Right.
Because women help me in every way, and I believe that includes finances. So I wouldn't even come in a relationship expecting any man to 100% provide for all of my needs. One, I wasn't raised that way as a woman. I was raised that a woman should have her own, and not to take care of a man. A man should have his own. I was taught that a man should have his own money,
Right.
and you should have your own money, and not to expect to come in and be taken care of, but a man should be able to hold it down. And that's what I think it is to say a man is a provider, not that a man has his pockets open and filling for a woman to just be taking from for her own selfish gain, whether that be materialistic things or just to say I got it, whether that to be to fit in, whatever it is, whatever people's relationship is with money, that's personal. But I think when it comes to marriage and in relationships, that partnership is not 50% you, 50% me. Partnership is all of you, all of me. So if all of me is money and I got money and I make more than you and you're at a lesser place than me, but we got love and we have partnership, what are we talking about here?
I think the next conversation to add to that would be pregnancy. I think because it's as if like that's the ultimate excuse for why men and women can't be successful together and raise a family.
Wait,
Especially with all of the resources that we have today that is advancing, stay at home jobs. You can actually go to school online now. Um, so I'm just trying to figure out where it's almost as if society and women themselves are trying to cripple themselves. Women are crippling themselves. If we want to put so much emphasis on the man being the provider, I thought that was the given statement, because provision doesn't mean anything else further than what it means.
right,
So like you explained before, so
right.
what do you think about that when it comes to pregnancy and finances? and everything that encompasses that when it comes to men and women.
Being that women are the bearers of children, the ones that give birth, the ones that endure that labor pain, the ones that endure, I would say, even menstrual cycles, because
Okay.
all of that same pain comes with that for some women, so I factor that in. I do, to say that a man should cater to a woman during those times. And in some cases, a mom can be a stay-at-home mom if that works conducively for that marriage or that relationship. But that should not be the automatic expectation, because one, we're not in that time anymore. Most women, even though they are having children, are still working. Most women, even though they are having menstrual cycles, are still going to work. We're not stay-at-home moms. Most women, we're not anymore. Most women are in the workforce, working jobs with crazy hours and bringing home checks and things like that. In most households, both parents work, or both the man and the woman work to provide income for a stable household. That is just the society in which we live in. We live in America. It's very independent, independent-minded women as well as men.
And got to include in economic circumstances too.
Right.
Things get inflated, times change, the economy fluctuates.
Right.
So we can't trust everything is going to be financially secure once children get out of even high school, or let alone college. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right. We can't guarantee anything.
can't guarantee anything.
We can't guarantee that we wake up tomorrow to pursue financial freedom or to pursue anything. But all we have is every day. And if every day we're waking up and we are fighting about who's providing what and how much, then we're lost as society.
Lost. I will agree. Okay. What about when the woman wants to be rich, but the man doesn't care about being rich? He just want to work a normal job. And is that the definition of provision? And she becomes successful and he's still just doing his white collar, blue collar corporate job and just living his life? Is that what could that be a problem, do you think?
I think that it could be.
Should a man one more time, my bad, should a man strive for success no matter the situation? Should men be rich?
No, that's to say that everybody should be rich, because everyone has their own choices. Everyone has a different drive and motivation, something that gets them going. Everyone's not going to achieve the same level of finances even doing the same thing, because we just don't live in a society where that's realistic. Everyone's always going to be able to have opportunities to make money. That's why they call it America. This is the land of opportunity for men and for women. And a woman doesn't have to work, and a woman can be fine with children and not work, because she can live off of the system and the government, and get government assistance and things like that. As well as could a man not have a job, and in certain states could also get government assistance and things like that. So it's just like, at its basic level, you have to work to provide for yourself, but you do not have to want to have riches. That is something that only some people desire to have. Some people are perfectly content in their simple lives with whatever amount of money that they have. So when we're coming home and we're thinking about advancement and goals and dreams, that's going to be different for everybody. And at the end of the day, you do have to be with somebody who matches your ambition.
Right.
Otherwise, you outgrow them, their mindset. It's not that you and you could even love them, but I honestly think that if you outgrow someone's mindset, you feel stagnant as a person, and it'll take away from you as a person. Right. So you have to find somebody who also has that same fuel for life or for success, even if it's not in the same way. But we're both about the bag. We both about ways to chase it. And we don't necessarily have to work together, but if we're both about that, we come home and we partner about those things at the end of the day. You know, even if we're not doing them together, we're still coming home together to figure out, you know, what's next.
Right.
I suppose. Otherwise, what is money? You know, do we want to make a lot of money just to say we have it? Do we want to make a lot of money to spend it and buy a bunch of clothes just to look like we have something? I don't know. It depends on, you know, also for me, like your moral reason for wanting riches. Because everybody doesn't need riches. Some people would die today if they had all the money they wanted, you know?
Right.
So it's a lot of different factors for when it comes to finances. Like for me personally, I come from poverty, unashamed to say. Sure did. Grew up in the hood, projects. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't not that bad, but you know, it was a little hood, you know.
Typically, your average black human being in America is going to come from the struggle.
Exactly.
That's just the reality.
That's just the
whether
reality.
A female or male.
And I think that reality is what shapes the mindset of a woman. Because oftentimes you have these black women coming from poverty and they done learned how to make themselves look like something without having anything. And now I expect my man to be able to provide for me, even though I couldn't help him in the least. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to clean. And I don't want to do either of the two. I can have children. I don't really want to, you know, take the time to homeschool my children. I'm sending them to daycare. I want you to pay for it. What am I doing? Like, that's not my purpose as a woman, to just not do anything and to just, oh, I gave you a child. Like, okay, but that's not your only purpose in life. Like, yeah, you help procreate. What's next?
That's a great point, because I do think about things like that. Like, everybody as well doesn't have to, like you said earlier, doesn't have to go to college.
Right.
Like, so I think about that. We are really doing even ourselves as a society a disservice by not raising our children to their actual, I wouldn't even say full potential, to the actual person and the gifts that they are.
Right.
And have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah.
What if everybody doesn't? I think Elon Musk even touched on that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I was just gonna say that he's addressing that right now.
Yeah.
By creating schools that hone to just that interests and gifts and talents of children, because oftentimes they'll show that early, but instead, you know, we focus so much on school, the traditional school, and wonder why test scores and stuff like that are low, because our kids aren't even learning in the same way that we used to learn. What is even school with technology today? Like, we have to shift the entire way that we were even bringing up a society, because things have changed. Things just don't work in the same way.
They don't at all. I think people fail to realize that. You know,
Right.
A lot of us been seeing it, but when it becomes reality, we don't realize that we're actually living in that reality, because we're living. So we take living for granted. We don't even observe the actual shift in paradigms, or how communication changes, how you know, society even operates. You know, nobody even wants to go to work no more.
It doesn't hit you until nostalgia. Like, dang, we really don't do this anymore like we used to.
Right.
Like, we were, I forgot what it was, but we were just talking about something like, about just thinking about growing up in just the 90s and early 2000s. It's just about how different things are from even then.
Right. Yeah, it was way different. I think the further back you go in time in America, after slavery, obviously, but the further back you go, I think we realize that yes, women were staying at home. Why? Because especially after slavery, black men and black women, but especially after slavery for black women, come on now, like, they probably wanted the rest. So it was probably like, man, look, yeah. But then we started realizing we got to get it some type of way, because of this racism. It surrounds us, and it encompasses us. It engulfs the very fabric of our reality. So
Right.
you got all these things that's working against us, literally. That's a
Right.
literal thing. The very moment we're born from disadvantage. Now you
That's
can overcome that.
that's a great point that you brought up history. Because
Right.
when it comes to even the way that women think about money and men and how all men should just have this extensive amount of money to
Right.
provide their every women need.
Mhm.
Like even in our historical times, like you mentioned coming from slavery, now that I think about it, both men and women were working.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the man would leave the house and work, the woman oftentimes was still working as like
Small jobs and
small
stuff like
jobs,
that.
yeah, like as nannies and things like that
Yeah.
for white women and things like that at this
Mhm.
time.
Mm.
But it was still bringing together every little thing we could as a
Exactly.
household, and it was
Right.
partnership and it was family. And then you
Mm.
wonder why we don't see marriages and family like that anymore, because we don't have that
You
mindset
don't have the
anymore.
mindset. It's all about success now. It's so funny how everybody wants to be successful, but then we have this conversation about breadwinning. Ain't that a shame? Everybody want to be successful, but then when it comes to relationships, only one person must give out.
Right,
That's crazy.
right.
So what's the point of success then for women?
And that was a question that came to my mind. What would be the point
Mm. Is
of
that
just
a f-
having a bunch of money?
a false satisfaction? And then you gotta die, and then hopefully, depending on what you believe in, you gotta meet God. So
Right.
I mean, it's just a lot of things. You like, come on, man, none of this makes sense. Who are these people? That's how I look at things.
Right. You want the breadwinner, and you want the bread. You
Right.
want the bread you win, and you want his bread,
So it's like, is money
and you want to make a sandwich.
like, for real though, like that just. So I mean, I think having this conversation really brings out the hard questions. What else do you think about this conversation?
I think that if women want men to be 100% the provider
Mm-hmm.
without having to monetarily contribute to the relationship and or marriage,
Mm-hmm.
then they gotta go back to what women were doing who weren't expected to provide. So yeah, the house should be spotless every day, every day. The kids should be well taken care of and homeschooled. No, they not going to school. They
They
homeschooled.
homeschool.
And yes, his dinner should be ready. Yes, his clothes should be washed. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to that then. If you don't want to work and you want him to provide, then just be his stay-at-home wife. You have to be that role because you're asking him to play the role of provider. That means you are always at home, because if he's always providing, he can't watch his household.
Right.
That's your job now.
Right.
And that means that your household should be A1.
Facts.
And if not, then you can't say that, oh, he has to 100% be the provider, and I want to go out here and work just because I feel fulfilled going out and helping people and not care who's watching your kids and your kids are going to school and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you have the ability not to work. And I mean, that's every woman's dream, not to have to work, but most women aren't even out here to work. We're career driven now. We want careers. We want to be somebody. We want to have names and mean something. You know what I mean? We want status too.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just say money is no respecter of no gender.
At all. Not in
no
today's
matter who hand it touches,
age.
it's gonna spin
The same.
the same.
And that's why if I got it, if I got more,
Right.
then the one that I'm with or who I'm even seeking out, and his heart is genuine and I'm falling for him, then what do I have to lose by believing in him to even get to his place financially before I be like, oh, he don't got it, I can't be with him? Because I think a lot of women lose out on great men because he don't have a bunch of money. And then the man with the big pockets, they don't treat you the way you want to be treated, but they'll buy you everything you want. So it's just like, which reality do you want to live in? And when you can build with somebody and y'all both can get it, y'all both can bring it to the table, y'all both can win bread and be breadwinners, and the whole family wins. Or is it the man has to do everything and I, the woman, because I'm the woman and I go through what I go through, I just do here, be pretty and do whatever I want and you're going to pay for everything. I mean, it's just.
It made me think about basically women subjecting themselves to a small dating pool. Think about it. If you subject yourself to, because think about it, if you're a rich woman and you're subjecting yourself to that state of mind, it lessens, shortens your dating pool, right?
Right.
So think about it. Think about that. If you're broke,
I got the perfect.
If you're a broke woman and you have that mind state, you definitely, I think you might as well just once again grow up and just forget about it.
Right. I got the perfect follow-up for that.
What's that?
Women with degrees.
Oh yeah, that's we need to talk on that.
A high percentage of women with degrees often marry men who make less than them without degrees and are happier. Now, the report goes that the women who are married to men who make more are happier, but because they are financed versus a woman who works and makes more feels as if she does a double job by also having to take care of the household. Now, I would say when it comes to that, if a woman and a man are approaching a relationship, my all, your all, there's no gender roles in the sense that only you do this and only I do that. Like, we're both gonna clean the house, we're both gonna do laundry, we're gonna help each other in these areas,
and no matter what financial state we're both in together.
Exactly. Right. So that's it. But I was just wanting to bring up that even though a woman goes and obtains all these degrees and higher education, the dating pool for her, for men at that same level, is so small that oftentimes if she wants to date a black man, she's gonna date a black man. Oftentimes that doesn't meet her pay grade at first. And I say at first because a man doesn't have to have, or a woman doesn't have to have a degree to achieve financial success. You can go and win the lottery tomorrow and be a millionaire overnight. You still got to know how to manage that money. You still got to know how to hold a house down. You still have to know how to love me. You still have to know how to be compassionate and sensitive to me as a woman. I'm not just going to go out here and date for money because you can purchase me everything I want when the things I need at the end of the day, money can't buy.
Yeah, that's the truth. So I would never place money in any hierarchy concerning relationships. Why? Money is nothing. And that's the sad part about this. Like, as a man, I won't be stupid and just give all my money away as some gullible person. But at the same time, I'm not seeking a woman to be like, I'm just going to use her for sex. Think about what that's saying about men. We're not going out here using women for sex and thinking that we're going to get away with it. What kind of sense does that make? How many times has a man used a woman for sex and just got away with it? You know what I'm saying? Especially if there's not a reason. Especially when if there's not a reason behind it. Because most of the times when people are going through things, it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I just think about stuff like that. Like, men don't even care. Me, as a man, as me providing for women at any time in my life, in these relationships, you know what I'm saying? just my nature. I'm going to get it, but then at the same time, I've put my all into going to get it to the point where it don't feel good to spend it for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to go get it. At this point, it's like I got it. Now I gotta watch how I spend it, like you was saying, like you
Right.
mentioned before. Watch how I spend it, and then at this point, you know, if I'm gonna have a family, I become selfless in any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um,
And I was on the real, like a person who understands that money is a resource
Mm.
and not the source
Mm.
has a good relationship with how they handle it.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people get the quote mixed up. They say money is the root of all evil. No, it's the love of money is the root of all evil. It's your relationship with money. It's how you handle it. It's who you become when you have a lot of it. It's who you are when you ain't got none of it.
I like that.
And so for women, when I come at you and I'm just about money, that lets you know how far I go. Like I stopped there.
Ooh, I stopped there. I wouldn't even want that to be, if that's gonna be my relationship with men, is the literal emphasis on money or making that the first topic of conversation, then I have to question my faith in my God or my belief in my God. That's a contradiction too, because God wouldn't even tell you to put money above family.
Right. And that's crazy because I was just going through and reading Proverbs 31 like this is the biblical ideal woman. And if you read that woman was a go-getter for sure.
Right.
That woman wasn't a lazy gold digger. She was a go-getter and she had the finer things, but because she made it happen and she held it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like go and read that. Like that is God's picture of an ideal woman. That's not a gold digger. And when he made woman the lesser vessel to help me, that wasn't to say that, you know, she can't get it on her own.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why is because society changed. It wasn't always a time where women was out there working.
Right.
But now today, like you said, women weren't even always allowed to be educated. You know what I'm saying? So, but times have changed. Now we are inventors too. We are educated.
Black
so,
people wasn't allowed to be educated. Forget women.
right,
Black people wasn't allowed to be educated.
right. Which even more so when we all come from the same background as black people. You have those who have it. You have those who don't. Those who come from poverty and those who are maybe born into wealth, which is a very small percentage.
Right.
But collectively, we all have to grow up with the pressure of grinding to get it.
Right.
And when that shouldn't even be our mindset. We don't even get a chance to like discover who we want to be or what we can achieve when we got to go and take care of the household because every job that mom and if dad's in the house that has is not enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like I take that into account as well, especially when we're out here considering dating. Like, should we be dating according to pockets higher than your tax bracket? No, date in your tax bracket. Because you don't got that.
Because you don't got that.
Like, what's going on?
Sounds some date who you can afford.
Right. Can you take him on the same
ways.
kind of date that you want to go on?
That go both ways. Because hey, black women ain't rich even with education. I don't know why even they try to use education as a form of like financial success. There are
Hold
women.
on. Let's think about this real quick. If a woman, a black woman, any person is financially successful in their career, that's awesome. It comes from college.
Facts.
If they have as high as a doctorate degree, if there wasn't by some miracle chance that they were a genius and got that paid for full ride, their loans are so sky high that even if they are making a lot, there's so much money going out that doesn't even matter.
It don't even matter. Man, I didn't heard so many crazy debt amounts.
I've heard some crazy debt amounts. It's just like, dang, you went to school for what?
I'm glad I paid
How
my
many years?
student loan off quick because I dropped out. I was like, I can't. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm going on my 3rd degree, and I
College.
don't have no student loans by the grace of God.
Right.
Trying to tell you, but even yet and still, when it comes down to it,
I'm just as
The
successful.
educational system.
I'm just as successful. Look, don't let me go there. I'm either
Yeah, I'll
just
say
as
that for another.
successful
I'll say that. I'll say that.
as an educated woman or more.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was just gonna say, that doesn't mean anything.
It don't.
Because in most oftentimes women who date educated black women who date educated black men find less substance than they would in your average everyday black man. That is scientifically proven. So, and that's why that study came about where most educated black women are dating or married to a black man that makes less than them. And that's because the money doesn't make the man. Like, character comes first before anything. Not saying he broke as a joke. He gotta have something, be about something.
Exactly. That's
But
the point, right there.
That's the point. That's it.
See, I'm. That's the difference. We're not advocating for being broke
At all. Broke is disgusting.
Don't be broke. Broke, it means you're really not doing something with your life, and you don't
Being
have
broke
any
is
type
not
of
cute.
path. You know what I'm saying? That
Right. And that's
creates
unattractive.
income, at least. You know what I mean?
Right. And a woman, I will tell you, as a woman myself, a man without drive, that is the unattractive part when he doesn't have anything going for himself. His finances aren't a thing because a man with drive can attract finances. Money's never going to be a thing.
I remember it was a time when a man just having his own home. It don't have to be home ownership. It can just be rented. If he had his own home, if he was paying his own bills, that was a man. Nowadays, you got to be riding in a scat pack or a foreign. You got to be a homeowner. You know what I'm saying? You got to be having at least 6 figures in your account by the age of 20 in your 20s.
Right.
What?
Just unimaginable.
Oh my gosh.
So we got, yeah, for sure. We got the proof on this thing.
We got the proof on this thing.
What are some solutions, to the proof that we see with black couples in money? Like, just what are some mindset?
So the proof is we have, these gold diggers out here. We have these contradictions out here. We have these juxtapositions that are trying to clash, but they just won't clash.
We got some sugar babies
that's
out
what
here
they
too.
are, juxtapositions.
We got some sugar mamas out here too.
We got sugar mamas.
We got some men living off cougars too.
We got men living off women.
Yes,
we have the proof of everything. Everybody's doing something. What is the solution, baby? What is the solution? Is you ask me, but now I'm asking you, right? Because I don't know.
The solution is the greatest quote of all times the Players Club.
Okay. Oh, Players.
I'm gonna throw it back, and it's make that money.
Don't let it make
Don't
you.
let it make you.
Oh,
it's as simple as that.
Ooh, that's deep. The Players Club. Oh,
yeah,
that's deep. From a fictional movie. The player, it resonated in this conversation.
It just resonates. Like,
that's real though.
Money doesn't make you.
But not even that though.
But you make money.
Right? But guess what? You in an environment where you gotta show your booty, and you saying that. Come on now, where did that go? Women ain't even saying that no more in a strip club. Now they saying the money make me. I want you to throw racks at me so I can. You know what I'm saying? I'll be your woman as long as you got some racks. They ain't even about that. They ain't even going to the strip club to make a way no more for themselves. They going to seek out the biggest pockets now. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a sense of I guess if you look at it like that, you shaking your booty for money. The mindset was, I gotta make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she paid off them student loans.
Whatever.
Was paid off though.
I don't know, but
I'm not advocating for that in any way, shape, or form. But I will say that some women's mindset about how they go get it is different.
It's different, right?
And they do what they know. And some
men
women
too, men being got some strip club.
And they
swinging that.
Use what your mama gave you, literally, and
come
that's
on, man.
Men
out here who we. I don't like when men talk about they sexual organs, man. Nor women.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah.
It's
But
like,
anyways, let's stay on stay on a solution, baby. Stay on a solution.
I'm just saying, because the double standard really is men don't strip. Like, there's men out here
men
stripping.
strip too, but it is less. It is less common. Okay, let's just be honest that there are more women strippers than there are men.
Well, because ain't nobody want to see no.
Exactly, but you got men and women in women's strip clubs.
But that
you ain't
doesn't
gonna have no men.
But that don't
men.
give any more validity to that than men stripping too, because nobody wants to see men stripping. Females don't even want to see men stripping. Let's keep it real. All of the strip clubs that's packed is what? Women strip clubs.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but
no, that's the truth. I mean, you look at the strip club scene.
Right? Yeah, you're right. It's mostly women.
When you see, I make it rain. They making it rain in the strip clubs. Ain't no man's up there shaking their butt.
Right? Because who would advertise that? No.
Exactly. So it's no double standard. It's just women. It's an excuse for women. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make a way, just like an excuse for men. I gotta make a way.
No, I mean, but you gotta consider too the easy route that men take with selling drugs. That would be the opposite of a woman going.
Women have sold drugs too.
As have women. That's like I'm saying.
See,
like
there's been queen pin drug dealer
as well. But is it less common? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It doesn't make just because it's less common doesn't mean it is not a door for anybody to walk through.
I'm not saying, it is a door for anybody to walk through, but it's less likely that you see women kingpins. Usually there's a man running that, and you know it.
Well, I mean, I've seen women in my time selling drugs. They weren't queen pins, but so it's not uncommon. It's really not. I'm being for real.
Yeah, I guess not. In today's day and age, it's not. But
so I guess the solution is to, like you said, make that money. Whether you're stripping, selling drugs, getting it legally, just don't let it make you. And obviously don't get caught on that side. I'm not advocating for anything, but you're a grown person.
You're going to make those choices anyway, so we don't judge. I
don't judge.
Unbiased
but I'm not going to be around that. But at the same time, make that money. Don't let it make you. That's the solution.
It's just the sentiment of understanding that character is what makes the person, not the amount of money that they have. Because at the end of the day, a person with $1 million could lose it all. And at the end of the day, who was that person?
I think we can end it off right there, baby. Proof and solutions, or you got something else to say?
Proof and solutions.
Proof and solutions. Holla.
What these bitches talking about? Always talking about they pussy or what a nigga got in his account. What these niggas talking about? I never know, all they want is clout. Lead the bullshit to my young bulls, I would never fold, gotta play my role, cause I'm grown now. What these bitches talking about? Always talking about they pussy or what a nigga got in his account. What these niggas talking about? I never know, all they want is clout. Lead the bullshit to my young bulls, I would never fold, gotta play my role, cause I'm grown now. Fuck you thought, I'm a man, I'm grown. I work hard no matter what I own. You call me, I got my own phone. But you ain't moving into my home. You think I'm trying to fuck, bitch, you wrong. When I'm trying to fuck, we set in stone. Ring on you like a worm and hole. Any nigga got a problem with I spoke. How I die for my family though. Up it on them like some pantyhose. Every shooter don't return hoe. Crushing smoke in these frontos. Split scroll like the Bible. In a perfect version of God's clone. And when we ride, we be loaded though. All these fans want a photo though. I shine baby like some chromosome. If you getting dollar, low me some. I walk in peace cause I don't owe you nothing. Acting like he gotta know they front. They whole sprung cause they know we jumping. Tall men see the way we pumping. We can fight but we really dumping. Right to bed cause these niggas suspect. Not my business, change the subject. All my life I had to ball on budgets. By the thousands, made investments. They judging us by arrest records. But every move is my best effort. Be a man, could he ever? Wife a thought, I could never. What these bitches talking about? Always talking about they pussy or what a nigga got in his account.